Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Table Talk with your girl Cecelia Bell. Happy holidays, and how are we doing today? I'm hoping that you guys are having the best day of your life, because guess what? You only get today. Tomorrow's gone, and tomorrow's not promised to us. Yesterday's gone. Tomorrow's not promised to us. So all we have is today. I'm excited to be back with you today, and wanted to just say hello and happy holidays. So I've been thinking about the new year and ending 2024 and getting ready for 2025. And I wanted to ask, have you guys been thinking about 2024 and going into 2025? And I know people start talking about their New Year's resolution, but I'm talking about right here, right now. How are we doing? Do we have anything new going on? What are these opportunities that you are experiencing that are coming your way? Are you planning for your new year and getting ready to get into the Christmas spirit? Because guess what? I've been playing my Christmas music all morning and I am ready. I'm ready for the holidays. I love the holidays. So I have, hey, Miss Young. I have a special, hey, Miss Liz. I have a special guest today that is going to talk to you guys about notarization. And I know you think notary, Cecelia. Why notary? Because guess what, guys? It's all things real estate. This is what we do here. You might hear me talking to some people about all kinds of different subject matter topics. But I was thinking about something that I needed to have. I think one of my clients was actually gonna be going to settlement tomorrow, actually, and he didn't want to show up for settlement. And I'm like, oh, you can just do mobile notarization. You can just do a mobile notary, and I'll have the title company call you up and you guys can set it up. So one of our very own boss ladies, Candice Richardson, is with us today. She is a real estate lady that rocks. She is a member of the Builder Circle and Next Level Real Estate Investing. And I just wanted to bring her on to talk about, notarizing documents, how important it is. It helps prevent fraud, what some of the trainings that they have to do to become a notary, and how important it is, especially for people that don't really understand, a lot of some of the transactions that they have to go through, especially in this real estate space. When we're buying homes or selling home, we always have a signing agent, a signing professional there to help us with that process. And so, since I was dealing with it with myself, with one of my classes, you know what? Let me see who is in our network that can come on and talk to us about notarizing documents. So, Candice and I were on a road trip last weekend, and we were headed to Pennsylvania to look at some modular homes, because you know what? We are building, okay? We are outside, and we're going to do a lot of things in 2025. So, without further ado, Candice Richardson, come on to the floor.
Hi,
Hey,
Cece.
how are
Thank you
you, Miss
so.
Richardson? How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm really appreciative of the opportunity to talk about notarizing documents and the importance of notaries and
Yes,
signing agents. So I'm
exactly.
grateful for the opportunity.
Oh, absolutely. When we were talking about something, and I think it came across a conversation that we were in, and I said, "And you're a notary?" You went, "Yeah," and I was like, "Oh my goodness!" Because sometimes you don't need notaries until you need notaries, and then you're looking around and you're scrambling, you're trying to get something done. But now I have one right in my dialing on my phone. I just pick up my phone and call my girl, so I'm excited about that. So, want to get right into it because this is a 30-minute segment. So, I want to get right into it to talk about what is a notary signing agent's responsibility. What are some of the duties? And I know that you can go far and long especially if you are doing a traveling to a to a transaction that you have to get in your car and go somewhere. So talk a little bit about what you guys actually do.
Well, okay, so there's a lot to it, but
Okay.
to simplify it,
Okay.
I'm going to speak from the signing agent part.
Okay.
So, we have you every signing agent is a notary. So first of all, it encompasses being a notary. So you have to go through that process with the state to get your notary commission set up. And then you take the next step to become a signing agent, which means that you've gotten your title insurance producer independent contractor's license. So,
Okay.
and I have to renew that license every 2 years. I have to take continuing education classes. Um, it's a process. The exam is not for the light at heart, the faint
Oh,
at heart.
really?
Oh, it's a tough exam. It's a tough
Really?
exam. And even though I'm a real estate agent, and I've
Mhm.
been a real estate agent for over 30 years.
Oh,
I
wow.
should, you think you know stuff.
We do. We think we know stuff.
But we don't know title stuff like you got to know title stuff, even though as a signing agent, I don't do those things. So I
Okay.
have to take an exam that, ask me, what do I know about title, the title process? And wow.
Well, it's funny you say that because, I don't know why I always thought it was such an easy thing to do and you could get to it right away. And, oh, I can close my eyes and do this. Oh, I'll just call her and she can come over and sign some documents willy nilly on the fly. It doesn't work that way. It is really a real important function. And
Yeah.
I realize that because you're saying that I am who I am and this is what it is, and it kind of prevents or minimizes fraud.
Yes. And it
Okay.
keeps, it keeps like you said, the fraud activity down. But the thing is that I am a public official. I take an oath when I go get my commission every 4 years. I
Uh-huh.
take an oath in the courthouse before they give me my commission.
Okay.
So, my key is, first and foremost, from my heart, I don't want anybody to get scammed,
Yes. Yes. Mhm.
so I take it very seriously, and my logs are, down to the book. If you say we have to log everything we notarize. So
Right.
if I do something for you, I'm going to put that information in my notary log. If you're the signer, I'm going
Hmm.
to put it in my notary log. Because if I ever get called into court, first thing they're going to say is, well, where's your log? Oh, okay. Where, what did you do? And if I don't even have it in a log, I can't remember what I did. So
seeing riches encompasses real estate and the whole notary signage thing. Okay. And
yeah.
that's a notary to face, or now, like with my client tomorrow, he's going to be doing his with his computer. And the
Mm-hmm.
notary, I guess, will be like where you are, and he'll be sitting here, and you'll be going through, I guess, the documents and stuff like that. And then he will docu-sign, I guess, the documents
Mm-hmm.
and get through that process.
So I'm not they call them RONs, remote online notaries. I'm not one of those.
Okay.
However, they're like a signing agent, or they may not be a signing agent, but they're definitely notaries, and they just do it this way. So they have you on a screen. Somehow they're getting your identification. Either you're holding it up or you've provided some means of electronic verification, and they notarize the documents, and you sign electronically. I haven't moved into that realm. It became popular in Maryland during COVID. And
Mm,
so, I didn't really move into that realm because at that point, I didn't see it being cost effective for me. I didn't see a lot of mortgage companies requesting that, or title companies requesting that. My
okay.
business still, we were still doing things outside on the porches,
Oh,
um, yeah, just trying to keep it safe for everybody, masked up and everything. And I still wear my mask wherever I go. Um,
absolutely. Okay, so is this a business that you can run and really do well in, or is it like a part-time thing, or for people that have retired and looking for some extra income? I guess you can kind of get all kinds of people that actually want or have an interest in becoming a notary, right?
I think you can have it in a variety of ways.
Okay.
Um, I personally, I used to do it more full time because when I came into this, I left my good government job. And
Mm-hmm.
so it was an opportunity that kind of fell in my lap. God was just making steps, happen for me,
Yes.
because I left that job and I didn't know what I was going to do. I had a real estate license and I had 2 investment properties. And I was like, okay, well, keep your expenses low. You could do this. You might not take vacations, but
It's okay
and
right
God has worked it out for me. But I will say it is what you make it.
now. Mm-hmm.
I know, there was a boom, when the market was high and people were refinancing all the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Some of the bigger companies, I used to literally go sit in offices and I'd be there from 11 a.m. till 10, 11 p.m.
Oh,
closing loans like
wow.
every 30 minutes. And, the guys would bring me food and they'd say, okay, you can run to the bathroom between here. And I mean, that's what was happening that 2008, 2000, 7, 6, 5,
Okay.
during those periods before we had the crash. So it can take off. And there are people that are really, doing it. There's so many different options or ways to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So there are third party signing companies that you can get a lot of work from. There
Okay.
are title companies that you can work directly with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they tend to pay the most. But if you build a good reputation, like there are, so I have a high quality standard. So I have very few errors on my documents, which means I can command a little bit more in what I get paid. I
Okay.
also, I work for one company, they have a white glove status. And
Mm.
so I'm able to handle their high net worth clientele. So, there's levels to it as well. So,
Okay. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the instances where you're dealing with seniors, because seniors and infant children are my favorite people in the whole wide world. Do not
Mhm.
mess with the senior and do not mess with the little people. So we're gonna leave the little people right there on the step or
Exactly.
on the side and talk about our seniors, especially the ones that are, they own property, they have assets, and then, they're aging. They're aging.
Mhm.
And you start to get concerned about, are we ready? I mean, are our documents together? What does that
Mhm.
look like for us? And then, we have notaries like you that have to, I guess, come in and try to explain to, I guess, the family about what it is, we have here in a real estate transaction. How do you handle that?
Mhm. Well, the first responsibility I have in notarizing is to make sure that the person's not being coerced, that
Mm-hmm.
they're aware of what they're doing. Of course, who they are, who they say they are. But
Mm-hmm.
if I'm, in a if I'm here notarizing and a document and I see that you're not clear, I have the right to step away and say, no, I'm not going to do it.
Right.
Um, and I'll say this too, a lot of the senior homes, like they do not play about their seniors either. So usually, you can't just roll up and say,
Right.
I'm here to notarize loan documents.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Right.
they're like, what kind of loan documents? Hold up.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
So it really just depends on, the facility that they're in, because
Right.
you can just do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, my dog has decided to come and greet me and greet the
Okay.
puppy. But yeah, so I've had instances where I just was not confident that the person was really comprehending what was going on.
And so, if you, in a case like that, do you just kind of walk away? I'm sorry, can't do
I,
this. Or are you looking for witnesses to say, okay,
no, I'm not doing it. I'm
I'm
out because I'm
okay,
not going to court. Not for
I got
that.
I got you.
I'm not, yeah, I'm very, it's my right. And I just say, the company that hired me 99% of the time really hasn't had physical contact with the signers.
Right.
So, they may know, but they don't
Mhm.
really understand, they're not thinking through what this could mean.
Mhm.
And so I don't play that game. I don't play it. I've walked away, because I'm like, well, does she understand what she's signing?
Right.
And if the family's like, well, she's here for dementia, she's in here because she has dementia. She has moments where she's lucid, and I'm like, yeah,
Okay.
no.
And it's interesting that you say that, because it brings me to my next point. I guess we should be making sure, and this is just good housekeeping,
Mhm.
techniques, to make sure that our stuff is in order, and have the notary come over, or whoever is going to
Uh-huh.
be looking at this stuff way before we get to that point. It's like preparing a will,
Exactly.
getting
So your
ready.
power of attorney should be in place.
Right.
Things like that. When you start to notice that there's a decline, you
Yes.
know, do that. Now, I'm not an attorney, and I always have to say that because I'll start speaking like I'm an attorney.
Don't do that. Don't
And I've been to law school, and it's
don't do
I
that.
have not.
Okay.
But I do know that I really try hard to just keep it ethical, and use my rights to
Mm-hmm.
say no, I'm not going to do this. I don't feel good about it,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll just have to get somebody else if you think you can.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, so let's talk about, you mentioned something about compensation.
Uh
Um,
huh.
and, and I guess maybe I should go back to when you first started. How long did it take you to become a notary? And I should have asked that question early on. How long did it take you to become a notary? And how different is the pay now than what it was back in the day when things were flowing like milk and honey?
Uh huh. Um. Well, yeah, it has changed. And it's the advent of technology.
Mm-hmm.
So when I started this 20 years ago, I was, I basically would sit at home. The FedEx man would come and drop off a package like Christmas gifts. And
Uh-huh.
I'd take it and I'd say, oh, okay. I'd write the person's name on the envelope so I knew what I was doing. And
Mm-hmm.
then I'd run, and go notarize. And so now technologies, and that meant that things had to be scheduled.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so now you can literally say, oh, hey, my deal came through. Let's close at 3
Mm-hmm.
today,
Mm-hmm.
and they're scrambling to get a notary. So, that's what happens. And that means that the notary, let's say you're in California, that means that the notary is, in Maryland trying to close the deal. And I have an hour and a half, maybe. If they got the docs printed at the title company, to get them sent to me, I print them. And then I, just make sure the key components are there, like settlement statement, closing disclosures, and then
Mm-hmm.
I'm running. So it's a lot more hectic. Now, in the beginning, I
Mm-hmm.
was making 150 a pop, you know, you
Oh
know,
wait, that was your salary per transaction.
yeah, that's my fee per closing.
Okay, yeah,
That's
fee. I'm
it.
sorry. Yes, yes, fee. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Because, yeah, I don't work for anybody except for myself, for CM
right,
Richardson and Associates.
gotcha.
So now, the industry has changed. Um, I incur a lot of costs now because I used to just FedEx that package back right after I finished. So if I see a FedEx box on the way, I'm just dropping it. I verify everything was good. I'm dropping it in FedEx and I'm going on about my business, right? So maybe I spend an hour and a half, including my travel time, and I'm good. But now I've got to wait for that document to be emailed to me. I
Mm-hmm.
got to print it out. I've got to, still verify that the things that should be there are there. And then I go, to the time, I go to the closing, and there could be issues. Like this morning, there was an issue. I was in one, when you called, and I was like, this should have been 20 minutes. I should have been
Okay,
in and out.
but it's rolling along
Yeah. But
longer than you had anticipated.
exactly, because I was like, oh, I got a 10. I got to be on with Cecelia at 12. I'll
That's
be back
right.
by 11. I'll be good. Right. So the settlement statement was the correct settlement statement wasn't there. And
Okay.
so luckily he had a printer. But so, the company I'm working for is like, please hold. And I'm sitting there, he's staring at me. I'm staring at him, and 15 minutes go by. And I said, you know what? Let me call again.
Right.
So then they fix, somebody else is more aggressive about it, and they send over the document. And luckily he has a printer. So he can
Mhm.
print it and we can go. But as a signing agent, you have to make key decisions. Do I stay or do I go?
Right.
And I have to make because of my background, I know, okay, well, wait, I should probably stay because he says he has a computer, he has a printer. If we can get them to do that, then I can just knock this out, get paid my full fee. Because if I leave, I'm not going to get my full fee. You
Okay, you'll
know,
get a percentage or a portion, or you'll get.
yeah, usually they'll give you a travel and a doc print fee. It's
Okay.
a third of what I command.
Okay. Gotcha.
So
And so you are affiliated with different companies, different title companies, different lending banks, etc. And then you get a call or you get on a schedule. Do you have to? So how do you get started with a title company? Let's just say, how do you do that?
so with some title companies, it's just like, hey, I go introduce myself. I'm a signing agent. I've been doing this for 20 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
I've and the other thing that's helpful is once you get into this, you'll get underwritten by different oh gosh, not title companies, but the title underwriters. So the
Mm-hmm.
big ones like Fidelity. So, that helps as well that you're approved by them. So you've gone through their, the background checks. You got to send your background check information over because in order to be a signing agent, you do have to go through background checks. So
You have to make sure you're clean too, right?
exactly, because I'm handling important information. If
Absolutely.
I'm not honest, I could be stealing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So,
And you're
yeah,
handling people's personal, information, I guess so security
exactly.
numbers, address, all kinds of stuff. So get it. Okay,
Yeah.
so in saying that, do you still have the same fondness or aspiration or desires to stay in the field now because it's different? Maybe the pay is different, or the work may not be as plentiful as it used to be back in the day, or is it just something that you say, oh, I'll pick up some hours here and I'll go over there? Is it just
Well, I'm long in the tooth in this game. So,
yes?
that's the piece. So if you talk to me and you're a young kid, you're young.
Uh-huh.
And, like I think about it for my daughter sometimes. Now she'll
Hmm.
come and she'll be a witness for me because sometimes I
Okay.
need to bring a witness with me. Like if
Yes.
I do documents from Florida, I need a witness. And
Okay.
so she'll come and I give her, a little something off the, top.
Right. Right.
And she's like, I don't want to sit here and do this. Now,
Okay.
for somebody who's over 18, young, starting out, needs a good side thing, I think it's a good thing. Now, if you have a good paying job and you
Hmm.
need some extra money, you might get a little frustrated because you come home from work and then you got to go do this. And, there's a lot of stop and start. So
Hmm.
just like I said, I, have to wait for the title company to send me the information. I had a closing that was supposed to occur yesterday at 5:30. He still hasn't gotten the documents still haven't come to me. And the title company's like, yeah, I don't know yet. We're waiting on the lender or we're waiting on the seller, so it's a stop and go thing. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna get my money like tomorrow. Title companies will generally pay you within 2 weeks. Some of
My
these
goodness, 2 weeks.
girl.
No.
See, signing agencies will pay you within 30 days. And then there are some off the wall signing agents that'll pay you 6 weeks.
That sounds like a
And
whole job. I mean, okay, that's too long. No, this is okay. And maybe I'm just not thinking about it right, because if I go to an appointment for you, Mr. Title Company, and I do what I'm supposed to do, Mr. Title Company, and I get my package back and everything is right and it's a go, I'm expecting to be paid at least within, I don't know, 2 or 3 days. It's like, you wait for commission check and your file is uploaded in SkyScope and they haven't paid you your money yet. Where is the money? No. That's a long time. That's a
so,
long
yeah.
time. Okay,
So,
sorry.
and you have to start making key decisions.
Yes.
So when a not even a title company, another company pays you 6 weeks out, and then you're like, hey, I didn't get paid yet. Can you tell me when I'm going to get paid? And they're like, oh yeah, it's Monday. We've already passed the 45-day mark, and you're like, yeah, we send out checks on Friday, and I'm like,
You know what that reminds me of? When I used to do a lot of BPOs for Wells Fargo and some of the other banks, and they would take forever to pay you, and then they expected you to do all of this stuff. And it was
uh-huh,
a consultant, thing for
yeah,
me, but at some point I had to kind of look at this and say, hey, is the value here? Is the value here, or am I just, what am I doing?
yeah,
Is this going to continue to be a business practice for me?
uh-huh,
Because if it's not math, then it's thing, okay? And that's what, I guess each of us have a decisions to make, and
yes,
good or bad or whatever, however you run your business, but that just seems like, to me, it seems like a long time to wait for, and it's not even the amount that you were getting from back in the day. It's probably
yeah,
like less now than the 150 that you was paying per
yeah.
visit, per transaction. So anyway, that's good to know. That's good. So if there's anybody out there that actually wants to become a notary, what do they need to do, Candice?
You go to Oh gosh, I think it's the state attorney general's office because I've been doing this for 20 years. I haven't had to do it like that, but it's
Okay.
the in Maryland. I'm only a notary in Maryland,
Okay.
so the state attorney general's office to become a notary.
Hmm.
I will say this to Elaine Wright. She's like the notary queen. We started out about the same time. She took it in a whole different direction, but I'm grateful because she teaches and she offers um, continuing education classes, which I've taken, and she's extremely professional. She does classes out of Prince George's Community College,
Okay.
and she actually has like a notary day, where she just does a lot of things. I've
Okay.
been to one or two, but I would say look her up if you want to become a notary
Hmm.
because she really does cover that, and she also covers the signing agent stuff as well, and
Okay.
highly professional.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay. So if there's anyone in our audience today that needs your services, how do they connect with you?
So because they're friends of yours, you have to say that because I'll be like, oh no, I don't do
I'm ready.
strangers.
I don't. Oh, you did tell me. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay. No, no,
Okay.
no, no. If and like I said, if I can do it, I will.
Yeah.
Um, my number is 301-675-0378.
Okay.
My Gmail is Candice.Richardson, the number 6 @gmail.com.
Okay.
So my name, as you see it on the screen, with a dot in between the first and the last name and the number 6 at the end of Richardson.
Okay. Very
um,
good.
at Gmail. So
Okay.
yeah, just make sure you say Cecelia sent me.
Yeah, because she told me coming into this space today that she does not work with anyone, and I understand why. I do, but at the end of the day, you know who my real estate ladies rock. You
Oh
know
yeah,
that
I
family.
got
You
y'all.
and it's a lot. It's a lot of them across the country. But since you say you only do here, so I'm only talking to my
Man.
my Maryland
Hmm.
family, and then of course we have next level, and then
Yes,
we have the builder circle. So
yes.
just put that in the hashtag, and maybe she will respond.
I
All
will.
right,
I
thank
will respond.
it's
I will.
can I
Now
come
you want
out?
me to respond positively? That's a
Right,
different.
right, right. Okay, very good. You will respond, but can I help you
I'll
or
tell
not?
if I can. I'll tell you where to go if I can.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. We'll
Yeah,
take that. We'll take that.
yeah.
So you know
National
what?
Notary Association has a whole directory.
Whole directory. Okay, so and that's the place that they probably should kind of check out if there is some true interest in becoming a notary. Okay,
Yeah.
well, thank you so much, Candice, for
Thank you so
joining
much.
Table Talk today, and happy holidays to you
Oh,
and your
same to
family,
you.
and whatever you're gonna do over the holidays, make it a great one. And God bless you, and have a great day on purpose. Thank you for joining
Okay.
the talk
Thank
today.
you. God bless you too. Have a great one.
Okay, bye bye.
Okay, bye.
Uh-huh. All right, you heard her, Candice Riches from C Richardson. I'm sorry, from C and Richardson and Company. She does real estate investing. She does the notary signage. And so, if anybody has any interest in adding that to your book or stream of income, you might want to check out some of the resources that she said that you can go to. I'm excited about 2025, ready to close out 2024. Some great things happening here at Next Level. We are going to be having our summit in 2025. The summit is January the 8th, January the 9th. It's full out. It's going to be action packed. A lot of great speakers coming out with some great information. All things real estate, as we know. Um, I'm excited about it. I'm excited also about the Builder Circle. I don't know if you guys have heard Coach Ella talk about the Builder Circle, but if you have not, you need to try to catch up with her because she is doing some amazing things. She is right now in Louisiana, just returning. She and I just came back last night, and we were able to pick up 7 properties, and we are going to be working diligently to get these going. So everybody can be a part of it. We have Bonita Grant coming on tonight for a few minutes to talk about building your business credit. As business owners, women on the move or gentlemen on the move, we want to make sure that we're not tapping our personal credit, because as we know, our credit scores will fall. So we want to get into business credit and doing business that way. Bonita has done some amazing things with business credit, and she's going to be sharing that tonight with our Builder Circle members, because it's important to utilize it correctly, continue to grow it so that you can be a powerhouse like Bonita and do all kinds of amazing things with credit and money. So God bless you guys. Have an amazing day. Continue to have the best day of your life, because as we know, you only get today. God bless you. Make it a great day on purpose. And I hope to see you guys next week on Table Talk. But gotta go. Bye for now.